You know, sometimes the biggest stories aren't the ones screaming from every headline. They're the quiet, strategic moves happening behind the scenes, laying groundwork for something really
It's all
monumental.
that foundational work.
We're talking about a massive shift, a technological revolution brewing on a continent too often overlooked in the global tech conversation. So, what if the biggest story in AI wasn't some new chatbot or a fancy robot, but an entire continent strategically building its own digital future? Today, we're diving deep into Africa's artificial intelligence ecosystem. We're focusing specifically on what happened back in August 2025.
A pivotal month.
Yeah, seems like it. Our sources, they include a big MasterCard white paper, some key intelligence reports. They don't just show isolated breakthroughs.
No, not at all.
Instead, they paint this picture of strategic consolidation, a deliberate, kind of coordinated effort. So, our mission today, let's unpack these foundational moves. Let's try to understand how Africa is shifting from, well, fragmented experiments to a really self-determined push for tech leadership and explore what all this means for the continent's role in the global AI-driven economy.
And what really stands out, I think, is how August 2025 marked a genuine turning point for Africa's AI journey. It's a clear shift away from those scattered innovations. Now, the groundwork's being laid for something much more cohesive, a truly Pan-African strategy.
Right.
The focus is squarely on digital sovereignty and, maybe more importantly, crafting solutions that are deeply relevant to Africa's own unique contexts. That intelligence report, AI in Africa, August 2025 focus, it really helps us see these foundational shifts, puts it all in perspective.
That's a really powerful observation. It sounds like this wasn't just, individual companies doing cool things, but a deliberate push for something much bigger. What specific pressures or opportunities kind of came together in August that pushed this consolidation forward?
It is precisely that shift towards a coordinated, strategic, and self-determined pursuit of tech leadership. And like you said, it's not just happening by chance. It's about consciously building, maybe reinforcing, four key pillars.
Okay, what are they?
Well, first, coherent policy frameworks. Second, getting targeted capital investment flowing. Third, building sovereign digital infrastructure, really important. And fourth, cultivating that talent pipeline. You need the people. Each of these is absolutely crucial if Africa is going to build a resilient, self-sustaining AI ecosystem, on its own terms.
And it seems like a key moment, one that maybe crystallized this narrative for everyone, investors, policymakers, the innovators themselves, was that August 6th release of MasterCard's big white paper.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Harnessing the transformative power of AI in Africa.
That's the one.
Yeah, that MasterCard report, it provided this really robust quantitative framework. It didn't just, state ambitions. It actually validated them with numbers.
Okay.
It projected Africa's AI market to surge from about, $4.5 billion this year, 2025, to a staggering $16.5 billion by 2030.
Wow, okay. That's huge growth.
Huge. That's a compound annual growth rate, the whole EGR,
Yeah.
of 27.4%.
Over 27%.
Exactly. And this isn't just numbers on a page. It's about Africa showing it can grow its tech sector faster than many established regions. It really changes how the world sees its digital future. And beyond just the market value, the report also talked about the socio-economic impact. It suggested up to 230 million digital jobs in sub-Saharan Africa by 2030.
230 million jobs.
Yeah. So that reframes AI completely, right?
Sure.
Not as a threat, but as this massive engine for employment. And that's incredibly crucial for Africa's very young, very fast-growing workforce. It basically articulated this new, confident narrative. Africa as an active architect, using its unique demographics, its unique economic landscape.
And that's the pivot point, isn't it? How do these huge projections actually become, reality on the ground? How do these impressive numbers translate into concrete steps the continent is taking? If those numbers were the what, now we need the how, the actual structures Africa's building. The mechanisms for governance, talent, tech enablement, the things set up or reinforced in August.
Well, a really interesting piece here is how a unified vision is taking shape. A landmark development happened on August 21st. The Smart Africa Alliance, and remember, this represents 40 nations, over a billion people.
Right.
They issued a public call for nominations to its brand new Africa AI Council.
Okay, an AI council for the continent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A huge move beyond just fragmented national strategies. This is coordinated continental AI governance and innovation, and the Council's mandate. It's incredibly ambitious: drive digital transformation, foster innovation, shape policies, all aiming for a single digital market by 2030.
A single digital market.
Yeah, This isn't just red tape, it's strategic.
Yeah.
It's about creating a unified regulatory voice, avoiding chaos, and making sure African values are baked in from the start. The language they used really underscores this strategic shift, positioning Africa not just as a consumer, but as a strategic leader and a shaper of AI governance.
Taking control.
Absolutely. And this isn't just talk. It's backed by a Gates Foundation grant to Kuala, that Kenyan innovation hub. They're tasked with developing the council's strategic plan. It's a direct response, really, to the risks of, digital colonialism.
Where others set the rules.
Precisely. Where external powers might dictate tech standards or extract data without fair benefit. Instead, Africa is committing to an Africa-owned, people-centered, inclusive approach. We could call it strategic sovereignty.
Strategic sovereignty, I like that.
And this will basically compel global tech firms to adapt to Africa's specific regulatory landscape, not the other way around.
That is a powerful statement of intent. But what do you see as the biggest hurdle in actually translating that high-level policy into, real impact for the average person in Africa?
Well, the main challenge, which is also the opportunity, is really scale and equitable distribution, making sure the benefits reach everyone, especially in rural or underserved areas. That needs serious infrastructure, serious talent development, right down to the local level. Policy is the frame, but local execution is the engine.
Makes sense.
And August did see several high-profile gatherings that showed this shift from theory to practice. For instance, the AI-empowered summit in Cape Town, August 7th and 8th. It was all about demystifying AI for entrepreneurs, business leaders, creatives.
Practical stuff.
Totally. Moving from what is AI to, okay, how do we use AI to build value today? Then you had the Deep Learning Indaba in Kigali, mid-August.
Right. Indaba is always significant.
Very. And look at their workshop themes. Responsible AI, from Africa to the world. Human-AI interaction in the global majority. Centering data in African AI. It shows this deep focus on creating AI that's not just powerful, but ethical, inclusive, relevant for the population there.
Context matters.
Hugely. And even the Southern Africa Broadcasters Convention made AI in media a central topic. It shows AI spreading beyond the usual suspects like fintech or health tech.
It's clear that the conversation is definitely maturing. And look, to fuel all this, you need startups, you need talent. That's critical, what's happening there.
Well, Google recognized this need. On August 18th, they opened applications for their 2025 AI-focused Google for Startups Hybrid Accelerator Africa program.
Okay, Google's involved.
Yeah, and it's a critical catalyst. Equity-free support, mentorship from Google experts, cloud credits up to $350,000. That's serious backing.
Wow, yeah.
It targets seed to Series A startups across the continent: Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, Ghana, Ethiopia. And the focus areas are diverse: ag efficiency, healthcare access, fraud prevention, logistics. It shows African innovators tackling really complex, real-world problems.
Tackling local challenges.
Exactly. And local players are stepping up too, like MTN's From Africa for Africa Accelerator. They're putting significant funds into homegrown AI-driven solutions.
So with these foundational pieces clicking into place, the governance, the talent push, what does this all mean for the money side, the investment, and the crucial rules of the road, the regulations?
Right. Well, let's loop back to that MasterCard report. Remember, $16.5 billion AI market by 2030, potentially 230 million digital jobs.
Those big numbers again.
Exactly. And the optimism seems backed by broader trends. African tech startups. They secured a remarkable $1.35 billion in funding just in the first half of 2025.
$1.35 billion in 6 months.
Yeah, that's a 78% increase over the previous year. Shows real investor confidence.
Okay.
Fintech is still king, sure, about 42% of funding, but AI and climate tech definitely emerging as high-growth sectors gaining serious traction. And the investment idea itself is evolving. It's moving beyond just mobile first to an AI revolution.
Let me explain that.
It means leveraging all the data generated by those existing mobile ecosystems to build truly AI-native services. They're not just adding AI features to old systems. They're building entirely new services with AI at the core from day one.
Oh.
And Africa's relative lack of, clunky old legacy IT systems, that's actually an advantage here, a clean slate.
Interesting. So where's the money going mostly?
Unsurprisingly, the big four, South Africa, Nigeria, Kenya, Egypt, they still attract the lion's share, about 84% of VC funding. South Africa alone is projected to hit $3.7 billion in total AI investment by 2030. Nigeria's AI market could hit $1.4 billion as early as 2025. Even Morocco's targeting $1.1 billion.
That's a lot of capital flowing in. It paints a picture of real momentum. But with that kind of growth, you absolutely need solid policy, solid regulation, which brings us to what some are calling a governance paradox. National ambition may be running ahead of the continent-wide picture.
Precisely. You see this clear divergence in how mature the regulations are. Countries like Kenya are setting the pace. They launched a comprehensive national AI strategy back in March 2025. South Africa is also moving forward with a draft national AI policy.
Okay, so some leaders.
Right. But they're kind of the exceptions. Most African countries, they still lack AI-specific laws. They're relying on older legal frameworks that often just aren't adequate. And this fragmentation creates uncertainty. That's risky for businesses trying to scale across borders.
Yeah, you need predictability.
Exactly. But interestingly, being proactive with regulation seems to be helping, not hindering. Countries like Kenya, by setting up clear AI frameworks, are creating a stable environment that actually attracts foreign investment.
Ah, so good rules can be a magnet.
It seems so. And this could maybe trigger a bit of a regulatory race among other African nations, which raises that question. What happens if you don't have these guardrails? Well, we saw a stark example reported on August 16th. 9 African nations had restricted access to OpenAI's ChatGPT.
Restricted access? Why?
Importantly, these weren't politically motivated bans like you might see elsewhere.
Okay.
Instead, the restrictions came from a mix of systemic issues: weak digital infrastructure, ongoing conflict, sanctions, and crucially, a lack of regulatory frameworks to govern the tech. Without clear rules, it seems many nations just played it safe, restricted access.
Understandable, maybe, but problematic.
Very. It highlights this dangerous digital divide. It risks whole nations becoming just passive consumers, not active creators, in the AI economy.
Yeah.
It ultimately stifles local innovation.
And we should remember, Africa's journey here isn't happening in a vacuum. Globally, things are moving fast, too. In August 2025, key parts of the EU's Big AI Act became operational, right? August 2nd. And the UN General Assembly set up a global dialogue on AI governance around August 18th.
Absolutely. These global developments offer both models and, frankly, some impetus for Africa. The continent isn't isolated. The EU's risk-based approach, especially, is being watched very closely. It's expected that countries like South Africa, which already has data protection laws similar to GDPR, might borrow heavily from the EU AI Act.
So learning from others but adapting.
Exactly. This global context just reinforces how urgent it is for African nations to develop their own coherent policies tailored to local needs, but also compatible with emerging international standards.
Okay, let's zoom in a bit. Let's put the spotlight on a region that's really standing out as a powerhouse. And then maybe look at how AI is transforming a specific critical sector, South Africa, consistently ranked as the undisputed leader in Africa's AI scene. How did it get there? What makes it so strong?
South Africa's lead is genuinely impressive. Yeah, it consistently ranks as the continent's most AI-ready nation. Why? Superior data infrastructure, higher digital maturity overall. The numbers back it up. In 2023 alone, it pulled in $610 million in AI-focused VC funding. Total AI investment projected to hit $3.7 billion by 2030.
$3.7 billion.
Yeah, significantly more than its neighbors. And the ecosystem's buzzing. You have events like the AI-Empowered Summit we mentioned in Cape Town, and the upcoming AI Expo Africa in Johannesburg. They're expecting over 3,000 delegates.
Wow.
Plus strong organizations like the South African AI Association, SAAIA, with over 3,000 practitioners, and the Artificial Intelligence Institute of South Africa. They provide real structure. And the national goals are ambitious, too. Develop 300 AI startups, train 5,000 AI professionals by 2030.
Serious targets.
But maybe the biggest strategic asset. Strive Malsi was Cassava Technology, setting up Africa's first proper AI factory, right there in South Africa.
An AI factory. What does that mean exactly?
It's basically a state-of-the-art data center packed with thousands of NVIDIA GPUs.
Ah, the special chips you need for serious AI.
Exactly. The processor is crucial for training and running complex AI models. This directly tackles the continent's biggest AI bottleneck, the lack of affordable computing power.
Okay, so it's not just for South Africa.
No, that's the key. It's positioned as a continental resource. There's a strategic agreement, an MOU, between Cassava and SAIA. It gives SAIA's 3,000 members direct access to this power via a GPU-as-a-service platform. It's democratizing AI development.
That is a game changer.
Totally. South Africa is really evolving into an AI gateway for the whole continent, providing core infrastructure, a central marketplace, even organizational blueprints others can maybe copy.
Okay, huge stuff on infrastructure. Now let's shift from the pipes to the product, so to speak. Let's focus on a sector as vital as agriculture. AI's role here seems critical for food security, climate resilience, especially when you hear Africa has 60% of the world's uncultivated arable land, potential for a 30% yield increase. So are we talking like sci-fi robot tractors everywhere or more practical tools for the average farmer right now?
Oh, it's definitely more about practical, immediate tools, though robotics are starting to emerge. AI is genuinely revolutionizing farming from the ground up. It's democratizing expert knowledge, democratizing capital for smallholder farmers. We're seeing real examples right across the value chain.
Like what?
Well, for climate adaptation and forecasting, NEC and Climate A presented an AI model at the TCAD9 conference in August. Tested on cocoa and rice, it combines long-range climate forecasts with agritech data to calculate the actual economic impact, the ROI, of different adaptation strategies, like when and how much to irrigate.
Smart, giving farmers foresight.
Exactly. Then there's precision agriculture and advisory. Platforms like Virtual Agronomists, they've reached over 250,000 farmers already, delivering personalized, real-time advice straight to their mobile phones. Farminaut uses satellite imagery plus AI for super precise recommendations on fertilizer, irrigation, crop health.
So optimizing inputs.
Precisely. And then disease detection. The Plant Village Nuru AI app lets farmers instantly diagnose cassava diseases just using their smartphone. It's like having an agronomist in your pocket.
It's incredible.
And in South Africa, a farmer named Calebojil Mozema uses the AI Farmer app. It helps diagnose diseases and suggests solutions in local languages like Setswana. Accessibility is key.
Wow. Language matters hugely there.
Absolutely. And even mechanization and market access. Hello Tractor, they call it the Uber for farmers.
Hey, okay.
It uses AI to connect smallholders who need a tractor with tractor owners, optimizing machinery use across millions of acres. And in Tanzania, AI platforms are now connecting farmers directly to buyers, cutting out middlemen, getting them fairer prices.
That's amazing. So it touches everything.
It really does. And what truly stands out here is how AI is de-risking the whole agricultural venture. It could potentially unlock new financial services, think credit scoring, insurance for a rural population that was previously considered, unbankable.
That sounds like a powerful virtuous cycle, creates economic opportunity, and helps food security. Who are the architects then, the people, the organizations driving all this?
Yeah, you can see clear leaders emerging across maybe 3 different tiers, each playing a vital role. At that foundational infrastructure level, you have visionaries like Strive Masiyiwa, founder of Cassava Technologies. His multi-$100 million AI factory mission, building those data centers full of NVIDIA GPUs, that directly tackles the compute power issue. It's democratizing access for everyone. His vision is a massive strategic investment in tech sovereignty for the continent.
Right, the infrastructure visionary.
Exactly. Then at the ecosystem level, you have builders. People like Dr. Nick Bradshaw and the South African AI Association, SAAAI. SAAA acts as this crucial organizational backbone, forging those public-private partnerships like the one with Cassava, hosting AI Expo Africa, building international trade bridges. They're creating the operating system for the whole ecosystem.
Connecting the dots.
And you also see vital contributions from policymakers, Nigeria's Dr. Bosun Tijani, Rwanda's Paula Ingabire. They're shaping the national strategies that enable all this. Then finally, at the application level, you have the contextual innovators, people like Pelanomi Moiloa and her South African startup, Lalapa AI.
Lalapa AI.
Their mission, build foundational AI models specifically for African languages. Sesotho, isiZulu, for use in banking, telecom, healthcare, directly tackling language exclusion.
Addressing that specific need.
Exactly. That focus on the last mile of AI innovation is so critical for truly inclusive growth. And you see other startups like Data Profit, Amini, delivering tangible value by applying AI to very specific African challenges.
Okay, let's dig into something really fascinating here that the sources point to, this paradox. Africa's huge challenges seem to be, at the same time, its biggest opportunities in AI. Can you unpack that a bit?
Absolutely. It's a really striking duality.
Right.
On one hand, Africa faces undeniable core challenges. There's a serious talent gap. Only about 5,000 AI specialists right now. That's nowhere near enough for the 230 million digital jobs projected by 2030.
Right, a huge gap.
Huge. Then there's the infrastructure deficit. Only 36% of Africans have reliable electricity. 40% lack internet access. That's a physical barrier to deploying AI widely. Data scarcity and fragmentation are also big issues. Africa generates just a tiny fraction of global data. And the data that exists, often fragmented, inconsistent, lacks linguistic and cultural diversity. That risks biased AI.
Big risks there.
Definitely. And finally, that regulatory patchwork we talked about. The lack of harmonized continent-wide policies creates uncertainty, makes it hard for innovators to scale across borders.
Okay, so those are the challenges. Pretty significant. Where's the opportunity side of the paradox?
Well, counterintuitively, these very challenges are creating unmatched opportunities. First, the demographic dividend. Africa has the world's youngest population, median age just 19. That's a massive, digitally native talent pool and consumer market ready for AI solutions.
Okay, the youth factor.
Huge. Second, the leapfrog advantage. Because there aren't as many old, entrenched legacy IT systems, Africa can often build AI-native solutions from scratch. No need to bolt AI onto outdated infrastructure.
Right, skipping a generation of tech debt.
Exactly. And maybe most crucially, AI in Africa is being applied to solve fundamental human challenges. Agriculture, healthcare, finance, education. The sheer scale and urgency of these problems create these immense business cases with potentially profound social and economic impact.
So the problems themselves drive innovation.
Precisely. A key insight here is that Africa's pressing problems create this unique home field advantage for local entrepreneurs. They're driven to create highly specific, contextually relevant solutions that, frankly, global tech giants often overlook or don't understand well enough. Startups like Lalapa AI, focusing on local languages, or Amini, using data for smallholder farmers, they exist because of these uniquely African needs that makes them truly innovative, not just copies of Western models.
So it's really clear that August 2025 wasn't about fireworks, but about quiet determination, laying this durable foundation for Africa's AI future, marked by that push for sovereign governance, validated market potential. It's genuinely inspiring how the continent seems to be adapting AI, not just adopting it wholesale.
That's exactly right. Africa is strategically positioning itself to be much more than just a consumer in the global AI economy. Through these coordinated efforts, building sovereign infrastructure, focusing on problem-driven innovation, it's becoming an architect of its own AI future, running the race, you could say, on its own terms. And this really raises an important question for you, our listener, to think about. Looking ahead, what do you think it would mean for the entire global AI landscape? What if Africa's unique AI-native approach, born from solving its own deepest challenges with local innovation? What if that proves to be the most resilient, maybe the most equitable model for technological development in the 21st century? Something to consider.